Moments ago, the Denver Broncos and Seattle Seahawks reached agreement on a trade that will send 9-time Pro Bowl quarterback Russell Wilson to the Denver Broncos in one of the biggest NFL trades in NFL history.
We've got more breaking news out of the NFL where the Seattle Seahawks are making more waves. The franchise is releasing longtime captain and defensive mainstay Bobby Wagner.
So I'm guessing we're all assuming they're going to be one of the worst teams in the NFL.
I'm going to be honest. I almost gave them 0 wins.
Let's ride.
Welcome to the first episode of our Seattle Seahawks franchise, which will be the main franchise on the channel this year, where we're going to be taking over a Seattle Seahawks team that has recently kind of fallen from grace in the NFL with sort of bad contracts, poor trade decisions, and most of all, which is kind of what has gotten them into the spotlight, sort of bad drafting. Of course, this team became super popular with the Legion of Boom. You had Russell Wilson, who obviously was great. Maybe even some of the best draft classes we've ever seen in NFL history. And since then have sort of failed to build a championship roster, despite having Russell Wilson and always thinking there's still a chance to make the playoffs. There's still a chance to make it all the way. But of course, we recently seen that Russell Wilson sort of had enough. There just wasn't enough talent around him, specifically on the offensive line. And of course, the defense was a shell of itself from recent years past. And of course, they traded Russell Wilson to the Denver Broncos. As we all know, it was probably one of the biggest, if not the biggest, off-season storyline. And of course, Seattle was already almost sort of in a rebuilding mode, but now absolutely in one. Luckily, they were able to add extra draft picks, and we still have some coming up this year with the 2023 NFL drafts. But with that recent draft class, they were able to add some pretty decent immediate starting talent. Guys like Charles Cross, who was a little surprising to fall to them, a very solid player, but a little iffy in the run block, which, to be honest, is probably going to be the main focus of this team as we're trying to figure out what the quarterback situation is going to be like. Obviously, Drew Lock was in that Russell Wilson trade, but the question is he even good enough to start? As Geno Smith very well could be our starting quarterback for the season, maybe even long-term. I'm not 100% sure as we'll have to see what we can land in the draft. We don't know what draft pick we're going to have. We don't know what the Denver Broncos are going to be like. We assume they're going to be a playoff team, but some of the other additions in the offseason was Noah Fant, of course. Kenneth Walker in the draft was a very solid pick. A lot of people were questioning whether that was the right call because he's a running back, but we obviously seen Chris Carson retired, and rightfully so. He tried it, he gave it his best, but honestly, too many injuries and hoping for his health in the future. Of course, looking at the defensive side of things, we did see the additions of Boye Mafe, who, of course, is kind of like a little bit of a versatile guy. I thought he was going to be a little bit bigger than that, but maybe lost a little bit of weight here early in training camp. Of course, very athletic, has a little bit of potential with that finesse and block shed. Added Uchenna Nwosu, who, of course, is going to be the starting left outside linebacker around here. Still has potential, 25 years old. He's a decent player. Of course, not the worst addition in the offseason. Adding Justin Coleman, not the greatest, player as of right now, but once again, kind of just veteran presence to maybe coach up some of these youthful guys. A lot of rookie cornerbacks, a lot of rookie edge rushers, a couple of rookie wide receivers. Who know if they'll make the roster, though. Of course, the leader of the defense now with the, loss of Bobby Wagner as well to the Rams is Jordan Brooks, a guy with a lot of potential, insane tackling, decent block shedding, okay coverage, and overall a lot of athleticism. Definitely a guy we're hoping can be the leader of this defense. Of course, on offense, you have guys like DK Metcalf. A little worried about Lockett's age. He might be regressing soon. But of course, looking at the roster, it's going to be hard to see who's the starters because honestly, there's a lot of guys that are projected starters that really wouldn't start anywhere else. Of course, keeping Quandre Diggs is big, but losing DJ Reed kind of sucks. You can argue that we need every single cornerback position replaced. Some edge rushers. The entire defensive line is iffy. It is a very tough situation here. The offensive line, of course, they maybe added a couple of names, but overall is still in shambles. The only kind of guys that we know are good are the receiving options right now. But once again, do we have enough time to throw? Do we have enough, talent at quarterback? It's going to be a challenge. It's going to be a grind. And I'm hoping you guys are excited for this grind as I am, as I never really thought I was going to have a chance to do a Seahawks rebuild. I thought Russell was going to retire here, and sadly for the fans, he is not. But we still have that 12th man, and we're going to be going strong with the support of those guys. And hopefully the support of you guys in general. Maybe leave a like, maybe subscribe if you don't want to miss any of the franchise series going forward. Also have a second channel, PKR Plays, where I do non-Madden content. I would appreciate you following there maybe. Twitch.tv/JeromepkR for streams, which I'm hoping maybe when we get this series fully underway, that maybe we can stream that series every once in a while over there, along with non-Madden stuff, of course. But for preseason, the plan is to obviously play all the games, play as many snaps as possible, probably going to be on all Madden with 8-minute quarters. And then the next episode after preseason finishes is to play week 1 against the Denver Broncos with 10-minute quarters on. Of course, we'll be adjusting sliders as we go, but definitely not going to touch anything right away, as it already could be nearly impossible with the team we have. I've noticed that the weekly team goals are a little different. Some of them are, the same, win the turnover battle for the head coach. But look at this. Yardage based on, how high of a yardage game you think you're going to have. But the points, 2 all the way up to 10. 400 plus is a lot to ask for in preseason. I think we could probably do 250. As far as how many points we're going to allow, that's a bit of a different question. We're going to go with allow 24 or under, and then for the weekly game plan, get a pick. At this point, it's like a roll of the dice. It's like allow 500 yards, probably. Allow 20 touchdowns, yeah, maybe. Get a touchdown ourselves, I don't know about that, but let's start it off with the preseason game going up against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Look at here, we are in, it says Heinz Field. I actually wonder, I didn't think about that, but could, in theory, I don't even remember what the hell the new thing is called for the Steelers Stadium, but could they sue over this game? Because, the NFL licenses it, and if the stadium's wrong in the game, they're kind of getting screwed out of their sponsorship, right? I'd be pissed. I'm just going to say it. I don't have, millions at which I'd imagine it costs to sponsor a stadium, but if I did, well, I wouldn't, but besides the point, I'd be pretty pissed if it still said the wrong stadium in-game. Heinz is getting free publicity here, which, of course, they want, obviously. That it matters so much for them, it's the in-game Madden sponsorship. But then again, I'm talking about it, so I suppose. I don't think anyone's going to get all upset about at the catch-up man for getting free advertisement. They're going to go right for EA. Let's start with the kick return. Of course, this is another position that is wide open. So wide open. I mean, I haven't seen something this wide. I'm not even going to say it. I'm just going to leave it. Of course, Marquise Goodwin going to get himself to the 30. Coming out there is going to be Drew Lock, the guy that is going from an okay situation to, he might retire after the season, to be honest, but 66 overall. Throw power is good enough, and the rest we don't talk about. I will also let you know, if I am correct, I think this is the very first throw a first throw I actually majorly care about taking in this Madden. And it's a pick. Of course it's a pick. Of course it's an interception. I'm not baiting it out either. While Joseph did bait it out. Unfortunately for him, I believe he actually has a career season-ending injury in real life, which, to be honest, at this point could be a career ender, to be fair. But that's kind of on the receiver. That's catchable. We're sorry, Drew Lock. It is not our fault. Also, I'm going to be honest with you. I am not good enough. I am way too trash to have that, throwing bar on. So I've turned it back to classic because I'm a basic bitch. And I said it. I'm sorry, okay? Maybe every once in a while I throw a swear out there. Nice spin move, and Wosu is going to get a sack on his first play on defense. Almost gets the recovery, but the teammate gets the recovery. Puna Ford. And, okay, so both teams turning the ball over on their very first offensive play. I don't know what to think about that. But you know what? Instead of throwing a pick, we are going to run the ball with Kenneth Walker to start out the second drive. And that's an okay little run, a gain of about 2. Of course, DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett are not going to play today. Other than them, though, there's really nobody that's afforded, a bench or a sitting, which, of course, it sounds like it's bad, but, bench or a sitting, it's probably a positive thing here. But we need to look at the rest of the talent anyways, so it's not a huge deal that they're not going to be playing. But, of course, so far, looking abysmal. We're looking awful. Okay, we can't seem to audible the route. Sweet. Maybe should have taken that. Going to take the underneath to Kenneth Walker, who's going to make it a very close situation. And 4th and inches, you got to go for it. It's the preseason. They actually thought I was going to punt the ball. Like, who do they think I am? Of course, 4th and inches, looking for the quick throw. That is... whose fault was that? Was that not like an easy first down? All right, so on defense, we now see ourselves in a 3rd and 14 situation. Jamal Adams probably should also be sitting, but he did say he wanted to get some experience in for the preseason, as there is no shot. Trubisky takes a pop. I thought he was going to make a play. All right, Marquise Goodwin with another chance on the return. Had a pretty good start of it to start the game off, and I actually really liked that. That was fun. Oh my God, our blocking. Of course, it might have been Eskridge that was blocking there. Is that an injury or is he... I thought that was a new dance. Okay, I'm not on TikTok, so I don't know what like the new dances are. I legitimately thought that was a trend. I thought he was doing a trend. I was like, oh, that's a little rude, but it's something. Of course, we're going to throw it underneath to Kenneth Walker. We completed a pass. No juke move, but gains about 8. In fairness, we are 3 for 4. It's just the one incompletion we had was really bad because it went to the other team. Well, oh my God, that's an insta rush by TJ Watt, who, of course, needs to be playing in preseason. We may never score a point in preseason, and that's going to be a throwaway. Oh my Lord, this is not a good look. Oh, it's already 4th down. Nice. All right, so they do score 3 points, but 3 points against our team is maybe not the toughest thing to do, especially since it seems like they're starting everyone right now, as Bo Melton's going to find some room to the outside and kind of lower the shoulder for a gain of 10. That's not a bad little play. Of course, looking for the RPO. Maybe we throw it, maybe we don't. I think that's kind of the whole point of the RPO, as it's a nice throw out to Eskridge, trying to make a play. Another gain of 10 for us. Not the worst accuracy, but I will say I think there has not been a single perfect throw. I think they've all been slightly off, and that might have been an open Kenneth Walker, but seeing our guys running, kind of crappy routes, and Drew Lock really not being the most consistent guy when it comes to passing kind of worried me a little bit, and we're in trouble. That's going to be picked off. Bad decision, but I did see Bo Melton. He burned his guy, but Terrell Edmonds jumped underneath and got it. Not enough separation. The blocks gave up, and another interception for Drew Lock. All Madden this year is kind of no joke. I'm going to be honest with you. Who is that? Oh my, what a cutback. Is that Benny Snell? Benny Snell stiff-arming a guy, and we may win 0 games this season. I kid you not. We're actually potentially not going to win a single game this season. Of course, we see some other guys in, including Geno Smith, the quarterback. I thought it was a little early. And that is going to be a 5-yard gain to Eskridge, maybe 6. I actually feel like a real NFL quarterback. It's actually that difficult. And we're in trouble, and we're going to throw the ball into nothing as we're going to get sacked. This is challenging. All right, 3rd and 13. They still seem to have a few starters out there on the run. Not a terrible throw. Eskridge is going to get another underneath kind of dump off, and it's going to be a punt. Pittsburgh has now put up 20 points total, tripling our yardage on top of it. Quick slants to the outside. DJ Dallas gaining a gain of 1. Definitely got to get used to the tackle battle kind of thing. That's just something I'm not used to yet, obviously. 2nd and 9. Looking for the slant, and there is just no blocking from the left guard spot, and it is now going to be a 3rd and 9. Can we get some blocking, please? And that is not a bad play, and we're going to be short. No, we're going to get the first down. Not a bad little throw while under pressure again, immediately, by the way. Stretch to the right side, and they're not really out there. We're going to gain a few, maybe a yard or two. You, of course, are going to have to throw it because they're just stacking up way too hard to do anything else. And under pressure, not even under pressure, they're just going to say it's a bad throw. Incomplete. Curl route from Estridge is not going to work here. Maybe Will Dissly gets open. To the outside. Oh, my God. Perfect accuracy. We led the ball up, and it just didn't go that way. After another punt, we did, of course, force a punt ourselves, which is impressive. Screen pass. We actually get some blocks. First down. Yes, a first down and then some. Absolutely popped by Sutton, the cornerback, but gaining nearly 20 on the screen. We actually made a positive play. Play action now, maybe to Young. We actually get some really good blocks here, and he stopped running. Eskridge stopped running when he was wide open. Oh, my Lord. Oh, my Lord. Give me strength, Jesus, because I'm telling you, I need it. As Thompson fighting is going to gain about 4. I know the clock is running, but at the same time, the clock doesn't mean a thing if we can't get in field goal range anyways, and mixing up is probably the best way to do so, so sue me. Please don't sue me. I don't really have the funds for that. Nice little short throw to Hart. This may be what our offense consists of. Runs and literal 1-yard throws. We are basically the Patriots. Play action look. Once again, this is going to require some blocks, which we don't really get, but that is an absolute dot by Geno Smith. And so far, I know we're... Oh, God, we should have called a timeout. It's all right. It's all right. It's really not, but it's okay at the same time. Inside throw. Starting to get the hang of this thing, and Dissly's down to the 1. Okay. Offense starting to heat up a little bit. Maybe that's all it took. Of course, don't have our starting wide receivers in. Hell, we don't even have our backups in, really. Got a couple of guys that are, maybe 4 or 5, maybe 6 on the roster for wide receiver playing at the moment. And that's going to be touchdown for Will Dissly. Finishes off the drive that he kind of, helped create there a little bit. And we're on the board. All right, it is now a little bit into the first drive of the second half. It is a 3rd and 5 situation for the Pittsburgh Steelers with Kenny Pickett now in as the starting quarterback. And we're kind of trying to bring some rush. Hit as he's throwing, and it's going to be picked off by Artie Burns, the former Pittsburgh Steeler. Even though they're kind of stacking, they're on the wrong side a little bit. Oh, we have to cut it back. That's a nice little cutback, gaining about 3, though. Let's get back to the ground. DJ Dallas now in. And we're going to get a nice little cut again. Trucking a little bit for the first down. 11, 12-yard gain. Going to go verticals, but with the in-cut from Young. See if we can get the receivers open. And that is a pretty bad throw, but a good read. And a gain of about 26. Geno Smith looking pretty hot so far this game. You get them a little nervous going with 5 receivers. Kind of. Empty backfield at least. And the release, we cannot get the ball off time. And we are going to get sacked. Looking for Eskridge on the slant. Got the 2 kind of like outlooks. And that was a wow. That is an amazing catch and adjustment by Eskridge, but insta-pressure again. I'll tell you what, Dwayne Eskridge really stepping up big time here, at least in preseason. Having himself a chance at a job, tries to make a cut move on 3rd and inches, try to trick him. It did not work. Of course, even in the regular season, we'd be potentially looking to go for this, but especially in preseason, we obviously are. And we see the underneath. Hart will get the first down. Going to streak Young because the safety looks like he's out of there. He kind of wasn't. And wow, we are legitimately getting 0 blocks. Okay, they did kind of trick us. They dropped people off. But, look at this. The right tackle misses his guy. And even if he didn't, the left tackle got burned anyways. Going to get a block from the running back. Deep in from Young there is looking okay. And we just honestly have 0 time to throw. We legitimately, I don't know what's going on. I don't even know how we completed a single pass the way this game has gone. And once again, they have backups in. And that's a tough throw. Should have been picked off. That was an awful throw by Jimmy. And it's going to lead to a field goal attempt. Did I say awful throw by Jimmy, by the way? I don't know who the hell Jimmy is. Geno. I don't remember who I was mentioning there. But, of course, that is going to be the end of the first preseason game, as we kind of seen a little bit from Locke. We've seen a decent bit from Geno. they're both equally bad, let's be honest. The offensive line is even worse. Geno was able to stand in there and throw a couple of tougher passes in those. So as of right now, I'd say Geno is probably kind of winning the quarterback battle early. With that being said, though, is that really a positive thing? I don't know. I don't know if I can really say so definitively. Of course, the run game wasn't great for us either. The defensive game was pretty bad. Disley had a pretty good game, and so did Eskridge. But outside of those two names, I can't really think of someone on our team that really had themselves a day. Hey, the punter, Michael Dixon, one of the best players on the entire team, has an upgrade point. That's not sad at all, obviously. And he actually gets a kick power. Not a bad start to this this franchise, let me tell you. Cody Barton, I guess, let's get the scheme fit going, which will give him 2 to block shed, 2 to tackle. We have an improved rookie scenario, which is about our tackle, Charles Cross. Who's that trying to... Gabe Jackson, the guard. I suppose we need run blocking from him in general. We want to be a little bit more of a running team in general this season. Yes, I said in general twice. He is a tackle, so I suppose finesse. It's a little weird to see a guard teaching a tackle, but I guess anything can help. Nighttime game in Seattle. Could you ask for a better environment? I honestly don't think you could. Getting our first look of the Bears as well here. Two teams that may be fighting when it comes down to the end of the season, but maybe not in a good way, as it could be for the #1 overall draft pick. These are two of the worst teams in the league, and it would not surprise us to see us at the top 5 with them drafting our potential future quarterback. Maybe not them needing a quarterback, as Diggs in decent coverage, but does sort of still get Moss. Regardless, though, it's technically a stop. 3rd and 12 from the 23-yard line. And Nwosu gets the speed rush, forcing Fields to throw it away pretty much, and that ball will be incomplete. So not a bad start. Of course, Tyler Lockett back there on the punt return's a little iffy because we don't want him on the offense, but yet we'll risk him in the special teams, which is, once again, questionable. Nice moves for Tyler to get it to the 39. Of course, looking at Geno Smith, not a great quarterback either. But we're going to try to catch them off guard with the very first play being a play-action shot. And we're not going to get a crazy amount of blocks. We really can't get that there. And Geno Smith looking a bit slower than I remember, to be honest. Loss of 3 on the sack. Handoff on the inside. Kenneth Walker getting a couple of moves for a gain of 4. Was trying to look for the quick throw outside, but it wasn't there. We're going to see that draft class come up a couple of times now, but so far no one from it really showing up too well early out. Getting the block from Kenneth, and we're going to throw that underneath. A little bit of a wind-up, and on 3rd and 9, you can see why they gave us that underneath as, yeah, it's a nice little play, but it's going to force the punt. And speaking of forcing punts, our defense was able to force a punt, so we are now back on offense. Going to start with a run, try to cut it back, can't really do it, and a flag on top of it. Great, holding, because the blocks were so well before the holding anyways, right? Looking for quick slants because it's absolutely stacked here, and not barely going to get the ball off. Of course, that is kind of the reason why, the press was there and it looked like we had an opening. It's because there was an opening, but that opening went away damn fast. And that's a tough throw inside. He's going to gain a few yards to set up a 3rd and 5 now. Going to have Bo Melton run the go route. He's got a little bit of speed, might be able to take him over top. And that is the new addition, Noah Fant for 7. Conversion. Kenneth Walker on the run, going to slide protect to the right, but once again, I think that's more of an offense, like a passing thing. And Kenneth's going to get some room, trying to cut it back, gains about 5. Starting to move a little bit on offense. Bo Melton, I kind of want to streak Swain. Kind of wanted Bo's out to be a little bit shorter than that. And Geno's going to try to run. And a Bears defender, Robert Quinn, the man with a bunch of sacks last season, dives in and brings us down short of escaping, to be honest. Kenneth on the inside is open, but drops it. Try to go for the possession catch. He doesn't hold on. We're going to need him to hold on to those throughout the season, though. Doesn't, though, and we will be forced to punt. And defense forcing yet another punt. Of course, pinned down to the 2. They got out of there, but ultimately could not do much with the drive and were forced to punt. And the running back is open. Another dropped pass, though. That one we did kind of, we were trying to run with it, but at the same time, that is way too catchable not to hold on to. 2nd and 10, going to hand it off on the inside, and interiorly, as so far has been the trend in preseason, no time at all, and we instantly get taken down. Not going to have any blocks, and they're going to blitz hard, but Gino's going to deliver a little bit of a throw, and with a 4th and 2, defense has played well. You kind of want to see what your offense is able to do if they need to convert in a situation like this, so we are going to actually go for it. We're going to go with a shallow cross. They do look like they're trying to bring the heat early. We're going to try to trick them on the outside there. Just kind of have crossing patterns there. And Noah Fant, please, holds on. Of course, the only true kind of starter on offense that is out there for us in preseason so far, besides maybe Kenneth Walker. Problem with the running backs is nobody's really had a legit chance to show themselves. The only thing we've seen is that Kenneth Walker drops the ball a lot, but as far as pure running goes, the blocks are so bad we can never tell. And that's a tough throw, but that is a great read. Delivers, and Eskridge is going to catch it for the first down. This offensive line is really not ready for the big leagues, it seems. They have a lot of players in here. And once again, we're just not going to have time to throw. We barely get it out to Swain, who gets, at best, a yard or two. Bring a couple of tight ends in, and they're going to be stacking hard. The guard, nice move by Kenneth, turns it into a gain of 6. Little stutter step behind the line causes the defender to freeze, making it a manageable 3rd and 1. Going to try to go with another inside handoff, and Kenneth will get the nice cutback for the first down and then some, getting to the 21-yard line. Quick slant to Bo Melton, maybe. And we're going to go to the backup tight end, and it could have been picked off, but instead it is caught by Will Dissly. I was clenching, and thankfully we converted. That was a bit scary. The levels look on the inside, and Gino was going to have a chance to run, but Roquan, both times we try to scramble, has been there to stop it, which is really impressive when you consider where he was coming from on that play. It's actually kind of nuts. But 3rd and 5, chance to convert, and underneath, I did not see that man coming up. The lineman misses the tackle. Gino's trying to chase, misses. Noah Fant is giving chase, and sadly, that is going to be a pick 6. He throws it at Fant, and there's no flag for taunting. Wow. All right, besides that play, the drive was looking really good. Play action now. Going to go back to Fant. The throw's okay. Gains about 9. Going with stick. We're actually going to audible to a run because I actually like the way this is lined up for us. And going to go with the cutback, but then follow the block of Charles Cross, gaining about 6 with Kenneth Walker. A better game this week for him than last. Got the deep crosser look. We ran this on, we ran this at the goal line, and it kind of didn't work out too well for us. And the same play almost just happened. The guy just comes up from nowhere, and we just don't see it. But we did complete it, though. I didn't really notice that. I thought he dropped it, but he actually held on, which is pretty impressive on its own. And we're in some trouble. We're going to throw this away. Maybe had a chance at Fant, but they were actually covering pretty well. Curl route, which could kind of intersect with that deep in. And a miss throw from Gino. The read was there. And unfortunately, he just overthrows him. All right, Bears 2-minute drive. They are absolutely moving on this drive. And we're going to try to hold them out of the end zone if we can. Fresh set of downs. It is a screen pass and really good defense there by Poona Ford. Timeout Bears. From the 11-yard line, 2nd and goal. Jordan Brooks on the inside, and the running back is not really that open. He does break the tackle, but they lose 6. 3rd and goal now from the 17-yard line. A lot of the starters still in on the defense. Backing up, covering the linebacker, stepping up on the running back, and Justin Fields is going to try to run. Ultimately will slide for a minimal gain, forcing the field goal. Not a bad little red zone stand. That was goal line, actually. Now we're going to get a chance from Eason, who I would imagine is automatically going to be on the team just based on the fact that we need the depth. But as far as like where his pecking order is, it's probably not super high right now, probably sitting at dead last, but you never know, especially with Locke not here. It's really his, time to shine if he was ever going to do it. Going to run to the left, though, with Mr. Thompson, who's going to outrun some players. Try to lower the shoulder, gains about 4. Going to go with levels here. Young with the streak. There's no safety over top, but it doesn't really matter. And the tight end is open. Sadly, a bit of pressure. As throughout preseason, he's going to miss a throw. Do have to give it to Michael Dixon, though. He has really been the MVP of preseason so far, as he's been pinning some insane ones in there. And we're under pressure again, and it's going to be picked off almost near the ground by Mario Edwards. I mean, how do you even evaluate how good the running backs, the quarterbacks, the wide receivers, the tight ends are when you don't even have a chance to really see them work? Nice cutback there, but the blocks are just so awful. Halfback stretch, of course, that play is pretty much dead. And that's a tough throw, but it is there. And it's a dot to Colby Parkinson for the huge first down. 1 for 4, but that one goes for 33 yards down the middle of the defense. Once again, common trend. Quarterback on his back. Look at the spiral. Great catch as well. Great concentration. And a huge first down. Very, very, very impressive. Actually, really impressed by that throw. And that's a tough one. And Disley's going to come back for it and make a really nice play for the first down. As per usual, insta pressure. They're bringing some players up. Play action to the opposite side of that could work. Young might be looking decent. And that's that's impossible. I mean, once again, though, insta pressure. It's absolutely absurd. It's just insane. I mean, the tight end just completely misses. Colby Parkinson makes an amazing catch, but blows the blocking assignment, which would have had us setting our feet for a touchdown to Young. Instead, it's a freebie interception for the rookie. All right, the game is kind of dwindling down here. Down by 6 with 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Can we make the full comeback and win this game? Passing to Will Dissly, nice little user truck there, gaining about 7. Trucking over Kyler Gordon, it appears. Going to run this out. We're going to run it short. Let's see if Young can make the play. It's not going to be Young. It is going to be the tight end, Will Dissly, again. Or actually, was the Heinz thing, is that a new thing, or is it going to, take place next season or something? Usually they don't announce that stuff until it's, when it's actually going to happen, right? So, surely that's actually a thing. And we do get some time to throw. We did have to wait a little bit, though, because of the intersecting routes. Sadly, did not have enough time. Another inaccurate throw due to pressure. It's so bad, dude. Making some audibles here. That is not intended, but it works out for a gain of 4. It's a win in my book. 3rd and 5 now, looking for that out. I don't really like it, though. They look like they're ready for it, but what can you really do? Once again, underneath for days. It's literally all they're giving us. I mean, what else can we do? Young, go for that go route. Let's go with the in cut from Dallas, who we have some blocks even to make that play. And there's really no one open. That's just going to be kind of basically a throwaway. 2nd and 10, looking for Will Dissly on that wheel route. And under pressure again, we barely get off to Young, who does roll through a lot of players. We're going to call a timeout here for the first down. Going to go with levels. They have a linebacker kind of covering Hart. I think we can maybe fit that in there. And we maybe could. Under pressure, that's a really good timed throw. Young again gains about 7. Let's hurry up to the line if we can, or not. Either way, it's all right. We got time. We got a little bit of time. We should actually run those with DJ Dallas. And nice little fight. Falls forward for the first down. I honestly thought it was 3rd down, but that's still nice. It's a little first down, little gainer. Are we going to have a hype preseason ending, or are we going to sell? 25 seconds left with a timeout. Going to go quick throw inside to Hart, and we're going to call our final timeout down to the 4. They gave us a little bit of a look. We threw it in there early. Thankfully, the receiver was able to react to it. And as of right now, there's a decent shot at it. Will Dissly, been pretty impressive this game. Might be the guy for the win. Could have been. The tight end, we're going to float it. He holds on. Did he one-hand that? I thought for a second as he picked, he kind of tipped it to himself and holds on for the touchdown. Let's take a look at this back. Well underthrown. And he does. He tips it and holds on. Great concentration by Colby Parkinson, who made that crazy 33-yard catch down the middle of the field earlier. And we're going to potentially take the lead right here at the end. Gotta love that Seattle defense. Even when the players are not great, you can stop a team every once in a while. It's not looking great for them to win this game. Here it is, Hail Mary in preseason. Most teams probably wouldn't even attempt this because this is just risking everyone. And the ball's tipped, knocked down to the out of the end zone, and we win a game. Sure, it's only preseason, but this may be the only chance we get a taste at victory this year. Like, it's literally that bad. We do want to take a look at the highlights, though. Of course, Jacob Eason throwing a touchdown. Of course, the interception's not his fault. Not a bad little game from him, to be honest. He was actually all right. Of course, no Drew Lock today because of COVID. Kenneth Walker was actually pretty decent when he played. Thompson was all right. Receiving Disley, not as good as normal, but still a pretty viable weapon for us in the receiving game. Obviously, he's going to be a great weapon for us in the run game with his blocking. 2 sacks for Nwosu, who has actually shown a lot of effort in preseason so far. We have another improve rookie scenario, which allowed Charles Cross to get another 2,500 XP on top of the +3 to run block finesse. And then we have a training camp standout who's going to be Uchenna Nwosu, who I absolutely agree with. And as far as what we want from him, play rec for screens is not the worst call. I think tackling or play rec, I think both of them are not super important for the edge. I'm trying to think. Play rec is always seemingly harder to get than tackle, so that's kind of the why, the reason why I went that route. All right, first series, got some pretty good playmakers out there. Of course, not going to be able to get to the running back and getting absolutely pummeled on the first play. A little hesitation. Had that quick out, I believe, to Bo Melton right away, but hesitated on that throw, and of course, it's going to lead to a sack. Not really on the offensive line on that one, even though plenty has been this season. And hopefully that's defensive PI, because we do not want to be the guys to give Trayvon Diggs a pick. And it will be. Whoo, Jesus, that was a close call. It was a very good jump on the ball by him, but sadly for him, he kind of got a little bit too excited. The tight end is going to barely catch that once again. Another throw out of sack. We're going to have to change these sliders a little bit already, which is insane to think, but we absolutely will. 2nd and 4 now. Looking for a quick throw. We will get that. Noah Fant. Not the greatest throw in the world, but gets it there. First down, 10-yarder. Tyler Lockett on the touch pass. Of course, he is blazing fast, so hoping to see that speed in action here with Metcalf on the edge, and we get absolutely crushed by DeMarcus Lawrence. Of course, in fairness to the offensive line, I would expect us to suck pretty bad against a team like this, so I'm not going to get too crazy with it, as that is near perfect coverage by Diggs, but he cannot hold on to DK, and he's really lucky that the out-of-bounds line saved him, because DK had some room to run. Going to go with a quick pass to Penny, who will not get a stiff arm chance, leading to a 4th and 6. Kind of leveled out like curl routes. And the tight end's going to be open. Noah Fant, who holds on barely. First down conversion. Play action look. DK Metcalf is the primary. We're going to have to check down, though, to Disley, who will truck right over a defender for a gain of 7. Will Disley's really been showing off here in preseason. My man's got a bit of talent, I ain't gonna lie. And we were staring down one receiver too much, and that will be a throwaway last second. 3rd and 3 now, slants. Throwing that into DK and holds on for the first down, gaining about 7 or 8. The drive continues. They're going to bring a little bit of pressure in here, and Lockett's my guy, but I don't know if we're going to get it there. We will not. Of course, we did drop back very hard, but kind of needed to even have a chance at the pass, because the offensive line, once again, was crumbling. Also, haven't run the ball yet, which is maybe a little bit of a problem. Penny on the inside is going to gain about 3. And there goes Noah Fant. A little bit of a late read, but it gets there. First down again. Do admit, though, the first team offense is looking a lot more impressive than, when we had all the backups in fairness. So, not really a shocker by any means. Drew Lock trying to get out of there. Can't, and somehow holds onto the ball. I don't even know. Of course, this has been a super long drive. Got a bunch of tight ends here in Noah Fant, maybe down the middle. Should have probably taken that. And that's a tough throw, but we were going to go to the curl route to lock it. And sadly, a lot of the plays were locked up. Got a couple of wheel routes looking to set us open. Not really seeing the primary receivers on them, though. And once again, no time to throw. Had the interior to lock it. Unfortunately, going to be forced to a field goal. Going to now give a drive to Geno Smith with the number ones. See if anything changes and maybe make our decision solely on this drive here. Of course, maybe had a chance deep with Lockett there. But unfortunately, not a whole lot of time to throw yet again. Inside handoff to Penny, who will get a nice set of blocks and fight for a gain of 9. Inside handoff to Penny, who will not really get a whole lot of blocks and be stopped to a 4th and 1. 4th and 1 from our own 34. Going to go with the double drags, and hit as he's throwing is going to throw the pick to Anthony Brown. I get you're under pressure for the 4 billionth time this preseason, but you got to do better than that, dude. You got to hit that throw. I don't care. Like, I don't care what it takes. You got to hit it. Slant inside. Goodwin actually does a really good job and gains 8. Once again, this is a 2-minute warning, so we are going to have to try to hurry up a little bit more than normal. And we're under pressure again. Noah Fant's going to get it there. Like I said, I get it's under, we're empty backfield, but still, like, that is, we've probably had that early on. We're going to go to DK Metcalf, and the ball is awful because under pressure again. And we're under so much pressure, but the ball is not there because there's nobody even open anyways. Honestly, I feel like I'm seeing ghosts, but on, like, the offensive line side of things. And we're in some trouble. Geno. Oh, there goes Metcalf. And that is a nice little play after the things broke down. 1st down, 3rd down conversion. Fant inside. Nice little short throw. But the time is kind of running. We're going to run the clock once. Going to try to trick them on this right side if we can. Outside's not open at all. Please drop it. Penny holds on, of course, because he's a god. 13 seconds left with 1 timeout. 3rd and 4 now. And we're going to take the shot to DK Metcalf, and it's there for the 1st down to the 5. What a play. Actually the best throw of preseason. I think Geno's delivered 2 of those now, though, to be fair. And under pressure, going to try to throw it low. Couldn't get it there. And we kind of run out of time here. 5 seconds, they're going to kick the field goal. And that's pretty much going to be it for the offense. We're going to try to run the defense a little bit here, see what we're looking like with the number ones. Going to see, maybe throw a couple of the backups in with the number ones and see what happens there. Of course, the cutback from Zeke leads to a 16-yard play, and Cody Barton has now made himself a backup with an injury. Bringing Diggs down. See, Wosu can't really get out there. Is going to force the throw across. Nice pop by Sidney Jones on the tight end, but a 5-yard gain nonetheless. Bringing a lot of players here, but quite a bit of DBs, to be honest, so a little worried, but at least one of those DBs is Jamal Adams. He's a big hitting guy. Diggs, also a big hitter, to be fair. Gets absolutely trucked, though, with Zeke running it all the way down to the 1. First to go from the 1. Going with the run commit. Jamal Adams can't get there, but it doesn't matter because it's a read option, and Dak keeps it for a loss of 3. You had a bunch of guys in again. I don't want to run commit because, they do have enough talent out there to actually throw, but still the tight end and the fullback gets the handoff, and we kill him. 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. Diggs. Got to get up on that tight end. Jamal Adams. Kind of lurking, kind of roaming. That out route's looking good, and a slight overthrow, but a chance for Diggs to pick it, but ultimately a stop. And sadly, as the game ends, things get a bit out of hand, and the Cowboys take advantage of a couple of bad turnovers by the offense, leading to a couple of scores of their own. 33-16 over us in the 3rd and final preseason game, which is honestly left us with just as many questions as we have answers. I don't even know who the quarterback should be. Drew Lock, did he do enough? Geno Smith, did he do enough? The throw power is lacking, but he made bigger timed throws when we needed them. I think Geno's a little bit better when going off of script, but Drew Lock with that throw power, the decisiveness, can probably zip it in a little more when the play design actually works. So honestly, it's a toss-up. Obviously, if it was my choice, I'd probably have neither of them start. But looking at this game, of course, the stats kind of got out of hand for AI Geno more than us with Geno. But Drew Lock did have a pretty good game here with the starters. But once again, it was kind of required to do less. But also, we didn't run the ball when Drew Lock had his chance. So maybe it was a little easier at times for Geno because we also mixed it up. As far as the running game goes, Kenneth Walker is the starter. Penning's good on third downs, but overall Walker has just been a little bit better in preseason. Receivers, the top 3 guys, the top 2 wide receivers and top tight end are all set, but everyone else, it's still a little bit of a toss-up between Bo Melton and Eskridge for me, and I think Bo is going to get the slight nod just because he's a bit faster. Looking at the defensive side of things, a lot of the things are pretty much the same as... Even though we have a lot of starters that aren't great, the backups are even worse. Noah Fant with an upgrade already, now an 83 overall vertical threat upgrade, which makes a +1 to speed. That's kind of busted. He's now 90 speed. His catching's insane. The route running's decent as well. Not bad, of course. Also a couple of upgrades. Charles Cross gets one. I think agility style or agile blocking is probably a little bit more important because once again, he's a tackle. Gets 2 to finesse for pass block, 1 for run, and he's actually looking pretty decent now. Jason Myers, going to give him a kick power upgrade, I suppose. What is going on with his neck? His head's like about to detach itself. Good kick power, obviously. And then Sidney Jones, kind of our number 1 corner, going to go with a slot upgrade. Gets 2 overall upgrades, which will give him +3 to man, 1 to press. Not bad. Lacking a little bit in the athleticism, and that's pretty much going to conclude episode 1. Obviously, episode 2 is going to be the regular season, which, obviously is going to only get better. We, of course, going to have to release a couple of players. We have 7 players to release, so we'll obviously have to get to that. Wait, no, more than 7. 9 players to release. Okay, that's even worse. That's even scarier. Of course, the quarterbacks are pretty much set. The running backs, wide receivers, but a lot of defensive players that we still have to kind of filter through and see who we want to get rid of. The lineups, for the most part, is set. The quarterback position, of course, is still a question mark, and some of the DBs might be moving around a little bit. But quarterback, who's the guy? Drew Lock, Geno Smith, maybe even Eason. I don't know. Maybe you guys have a suggestion, because as of right now, I'd say it's probably slightly in the lead, Drew Lock. Of course, he is younger in general, but I don't think, honestly, any of the quarterbacks are the answer. But I will say I think that Drew Lock has the most potential and slightly outplayed Geno in preseason. Can't really make a trade because all the trade partners, they want too much for their veteran quarterbacks. And once again, we're not ready to win right now anyways, so it just wouldn't make sense in my opinion. But that's pretty much going to be it. Of course, if you guys really want to see more of this series, maybe I'll set a like goal of 500 likes. I'll probably actually edit this to say that in the beginning as well. If you guys want to see another episode of this tomorrow, 500 likes, because I actually don't plan on uploading this tomorrow. I'll probably plan on maybe doing a rebuild or something. So 500 likes, and we'll do episode 2 tomorrow. And of course, if you're new, maybe leave a subscribe, scroll down, click that button, maybe hit the bell. I don't know if that automatically happens, what's the case. If you're not new, though, I really appreciate your continued support. Maybe follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr, and second channel PKR Plays for non-Madden videos. That's about it. Maybe twitch.tv/Jeromepkr for streams if I ever stream again. And that's about it. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you guys come back for next video. But until next video, see ya!